Good day, viewers. You are welcome to today's edition of Retirement Clues. I remain your host on this program, Mr. Chusudo Okonta, the publisher of Eastern Online and the promoter of this program known as Retirement Clues. We thank God for another opportunity that He has given to us to come your way again today. To the glory of God, we thank God that we are actually making efforts, in deepening awareness on retirement issues. We really thank God for how He has been helping us, and for people that have been sending their comments, their remarks, and even contributions. We actually say thank you. We appreciate your support so far. Quickly today, we are still looking at issues around the review of the Pension Reform Act 2014. Based on that, we'll be looking at a topic that says saving the retirement system from collapse. Saving the retirement system from collapse. I know that no stakeholder want the system to collapse, but there are a lot of things that we need to do in order to keep the system going, and there are still some things that we need to do. If not properly done, it can lead to problem in the system. And for us as stakeholders, our expectation is that the retirement system, which is also known as the pension sector or pension business, our expectations is that the system should continue to thrive. Quickly, before we go into the discussions, let's just highlight some developments within the sector. The first news item that we want to highlight here came out from the review, which held, I think, on Tuesday, and that is the public hearing of the Pension Reform Act, which held in Abuja on Tuesday. And one of the fallout from that public hearing is that the National Pension Commission, PENCOM, and the Pension Fund of Operators Association of Nigeria, PENOP, have taken a position, and their position is that they don't want the police personnel to exit from the contributory pension scheme. According to them, if the police personnel are allowed to exit, it will actually show up pension liability of government to the tune of 1.84 trillion. That means it will create more liabilities for government, and we know presently that government is actually looking for money to do most of its activities, and creating this type of problem again for them. The pension operators and the regulator feel that the government should not be given this burden. Another thing that still came out from the public hearing is that these two bodies too, PENCOM and PENOP, took another position that the bill raised by some people within the House of Representatives, that the lump sum payment should be increased to 75%. They kicked against it, that such should not be done, because according to them, if the lump sum is given out at 75%, the 25% that will be left over will not be enough to actually process monthly pension benefit for retirees, and according to them, that will lead to poverty among the retirees, because having collected almost all that they have, the 25% can never package anything that will keep them going monthly, and that is why they are actually kicking against that bill. Then another thing is still within the National Assembly. There was news that came up recently that the principal key principal actors in the National Assembly, that they are working in new Nigerian law that they are packaging, that they want to actually carve a life pension for themselves. A principal actor, that is those occupying key positions like the Senate President, the Speaker of the House of Rep, that they want to package life pension for such positions, and stakeholders are actually kicking that this should not be. Somebody cannot just be a speaker for 4 years and will be entitled to life pension. That shouldn't be. That shouldn't be. And even as stakeholders too, we say no to such acts. It shouldn't be. Then the last news item I want to highlight here came from South Africa. It's a good one. We saw it and we said, at least if it's something that we will replicate here, is a good one. Just as Nigeria, as we are reviewing our retirement law, the South African government, they are still reviewing their own. And one of the good things that we saw that they did there, which we are even looking if our people can do it here, is that they've come up to say that the draft legislation on retirement reform, will be published so that the public can comment on it. That is, they are even going beyond public hearing. They want to publish it so that the whole people in the country, everybody can make an input into it. It's a very good one. That, like the public hearing now that I had in Abuja, it was only a few people that were there. But in South Africa, they say no, that they want to gather more information from the public. And if our legislators could do that, it would be very good. If our government can even encourage that before the bill becomes an act, that it will be made public, let people comment, let experts, people, everybody make their comment, and from there they will actually know what is really good for the people. These are the few news items that we have. Then let's just go to our discussions for today, which is saving the retirement system from collapse. As I said earlier, our expectations is that we want to see that this system continue to thrive, because for the system to have raised over 13 trillion in a very short while, and it has helped even government in attending to some of their needs. As example, the one that I even know is that the investment in Siku has really helped in road construction, because when you travel around the country, you always see signs where they say Siku 1, Siku 2, Siku 2, and then pension contributions is part of what is being used to fix this road. And other areas in terms of job creation, the sector has employed many people, and even in raising funds, like in the banking sector, the pension fund operators have invested close to 2 trillion in the banking sector through commercial papers and other money market instruments. And this money actually go down into the real sector, because when the banks have money to lend to the public, it helps in growing the economy, because entrepreneurs have access to loan which they use to grow their business. These are many other benefits that the retirement system has actually brought since the law was enacted, since it became operational. And we don't want these benefits to just go down because of individual interests. And that's why we are calling on the government. We are calling on the National Pension Commission. We are calling on the operators. We are even calling on employers and employees, for all of us to come together to make sure that we support this system so that the system will not collapse. We are going to take the roles that we feel that 3 key principals or 3 key actors in this system, the roles that they should play: the government, the National Pension Commission, and the operators. Let's just look at the roles that they need to play in order to keep this system going. We are going to start with the government. The government has a lot to do. Even as this pension reform act is being reviewed now. Is being handled by the National Assembly, which is part of the government, and after that it will have to be signed into law. When it now becomes an act, that has to be done by the president. That means the government has a lot of role to play. And looking at what we feel that the government should still do in order, because there are a lot of agitation. People are asking, like the police personnel, they want to pull out, and we know that when the police pull out, before you know, road safety say they want to pull out, before you know, civil defense say they want to pull out, and once everybody pulls out, the system will just go down. And once that is done, people in the private sector, they themselves will now begin to renege on complying with the law. And we don't want to get to this state. And that's why we are calling, instead of like the police pulling out, there are a lot of things that the government can do to keep them in the system. And one of the things that we are considering here is that the government, though over the time we heard that government has actually increased the salary of the police, but I think a robust salary package should be set aside for the police, because when their salary is high, their contribution will be high. Once that is done, government can still increase their contributions. The contribution should go beyond a minimum of 18%. Government can decide to be doing like 20% on behalf of the police, and that why the police people contribute 8% according to the law. Though we are still awaiting what they will come up with the review. That is one of the steps. Their salary should be increased and their contribution should be increased. Another thing is government should encourage benefits such as gratuity for the police. Though the Pension Reform Act actually captured that, but I know that those things, most of them are not being implemented. Government should begin to have such things for them. Another thing is the government should create social security scheme for the police. Police officers that are retired, nothing stops them from having access to good health care. Health insurance should be put in place for them, that after retirement, all those things, all those good policies should be put in place to actually encourage them. Another thing we feel that the government should do, government should try as much as possible to improve the economic situation of the country. When the economic situation improves, people will not even be asking that they needed money. When they know everything is working well, those people that are agitating for 75%, they will not ask for that. When the education sector is working well, there is light, there is water, security is secured. When all those things are in place, people will not ask for more money. But the situation whereby people need money to solve all these things, there is no fuel, they are buying fuel at almost 300 naira, they will need for money. This agitation will continue. Government should work on improving the economic situation. Another thing that we feel that the government should do is that government should create favorable climate for businesses to thrive. Once this is done, there will be job. And like all those retirees that are complaining they don't have money to take care of even their children that are not employed. Once their children are employed and they are helping them, they will not even be asking for more money. There should be job creation. Government should make the environment favorable for job creation. Is another good thing that the government should do. And government should ensure, like the issue of housing, affordable houses should be put in place, and even health care. When somebody is working, and mortgage system should be properly be structured in this nation in line with affordable houses. Once all these things are in place, somebody is working and he can, through mortgage, got a house of a very cheap rate. That person will not be asking for money at retirement, that he needs money to go and finish his house or build another house. These are the things that we feel that government should do to reduce this agitation and to keep the pension system going. Then going to the regulator. The regulator, this is the National Pension Commission, should ensure full enforcement. Those people that are not complying, they should get them to comply. They should have regular engagement They shouldn't wait until when police people are agitating before they will now begin to talk to them. There should be regular engagement with every stakeholder in the sector. I think the National Pension Commission should really do that. They should continue to invest more on awareness and education. It's very key. They need to keep sensitizing the public on the benefits of the pension system. And the last role we feel that they, among other things, that they should do again is that the issue of voluntary contribution, that regulation should be looked into. People should be encouraged to voluntarily, contribute, and the act of contributing through their employer should be looked into, because that has actually debarred many people from embracing the voluntary contribution. And we feel these are what the regulator should do. Then going to the operators, which are the pension fund operators, we feel that the pension fund operators should do more on corporate social responsibility. We will not be like the police now that are agitating. It's not that maybe they are doing anything. They should support them. Government, the pension operator, as part of corporate social responsibility, they should support the work of the paramilitary and even the economy totally. We want to see more of activities in the area of corporate social responsibility coming from the pension operators. They should do more in that regard. Support the educational system, support the security sector, support the economy through corporate social responsibility. And we believe they should still do more in the area of awareness. They should do more in the area of awareness, and in the area of investment, they should continue to invest properly so that they will have good returns. These are what we believe that the operators should do in order to keep this pension system going. We know that there are a lot of things, but we just highlighted these few things, and we believe that when all these things are done, every one of us, our dream for a better retirement, we achieved it. Thank you for giving us attention today. I remain your host, just as I've said earlier, Mr. Chusudu Okonta. In case you have comments, you have feedback, you want to reach out to us, you can reach us through our lines, which are 08054269557 and 07033253527. Our email address remains ispenonline@gmail.com. Thank you very much for giving us your attention. By the grace of God, we'll still come your way in the future. Remember,